Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm Manny Reads Comics here with another book, Seven Secrets, number 11. As I said, welcome back. And if this is your first time listening, thank you for clicking. Thank you for listening. No, we're talking about Seven Secrets by Tom Taylor. This is a great issue. I can't even. We find as many answers as we get in this issue, we get so much more questions. Um, just with this cover here, it's a little bit uh, of a foreshadow. I don't want to say too much about it yet. I'll bring it back up at the end after the recap, so we can see what I'm talking about. But this story is mostly dealing with the people on the cover here. We got in the very back, we got Dion, Fell on the right side. To the left is Laqueta. To the right is Dima, and then in the front right there is Canto. But let's just get straight into it. It starts off with Laqueta and Dima are basically being suspicious. They don't talk, so they're signing, and but they're all in the corner of a boat by themselves. They're speaking in very secretive tones, you can tell. And Canto goes in there and kind of just asks like, what's going on? Can you guys tell me about what you're talking about? And immediately they block him off. And I mean, he knows how to sign, and they just tell him whatever the sign is for no, we can't tell you anything. We basically saying we can't discuss this with you. We don't trust you. Who knows what? And in the last issue, we heard from Canto that he is suspicious of Laqueta the most, but he's suspicious of both of them. He doesn't want to be suspicious of his friend, but I mean, he's not stupid either. He's not gonna let logic or love of his friends blind him from the logic that it could be them that are betraying the holders and the keepers, this organization. Um, so then Canto goes and speaks with Dion and Fell. They're driving the boat or whatever, and he tells them just continue looking forward. Don't look back. Don't let them read your lips. Don't give anything away. But here's the thing: I think that they are traitors. You need to be careful with them, and basically to kind of show that he is the most trustworthy. He reveals his face, and both of them look shocked at what they see, and he just starts talking about how sacrifices have to be made, and he's made many sacrifices for this organization. And then he kind of points out how quiet it is around them. And so they're in Switzerland, and in the last couple of issues, we know that Switzerland was destroyed completely by that first secret. So he's saying that this is what happens when people that no longer care about life are in charge, you know. So they take this to heart, and basically now they are worried about Laqueta and Dima. But then we move on back to Casper, Titus, Jeddah, and Eva. And they are torturing the prime minister at the moment. And if you recall from the last issue, basically Eva didn't want Casper to be part of the torturing. She kicked him out. She said, "You don't need to be here." And she's protecting him from something, and it looks like she's protecting him from the innocence or whatever, like trying to keep his innocence intact. But there was a sense of she's protecting something else, and in this, we do get kind of a reveal that it is definitely something else. So Titus is loving the fact that he's torturing the prime minister right now, and he does a very good job with it. Enough of a good job that the prime minister is yelling out in pain, asking for help and things. And while Casper is not in the room, he is in earshot of this, and he's not liking this. He's just not doing well, and something actually triggers, and so he starts walking towards that room, and he leaves his case behind. And so if you haven't been keeping up with Seven Secrets, if you are deemed to be a keeper of a case, you don't drop it. You sleep with it, you shower with it, I don't know what else. You do everything with it. You do not leave it unattended whatsoever. And Casper did his very best for one of the issues. I believe it was issue 3 or 4. to prove that he is a keeper and he has what it takes to keep this case. And for him to just drop it for a random prime minister, something has to be wrong here. But he leaves it behind. He like I said, he drops it and he goes towards the prime minister who's being tortured. And then we see his face and his eyes are lighting up. They got this glow to them, this white bluish glow. And he is ready to attack Titus and Eva, I assume. But he's in attack mode. But Eva needs to go over there. She calms him down. It's okay. We're done. Everything is okay. We got what we needed. And she's able to calm him down. And when he comes out of it, he doesn't even know what happened. He looks around. He's like, what's going on? And then Jeddah comes in with the case. Luckily, she was a trustworthy person. But she comes in with the case. She says, hey, you left this behind. And Titus at this point gets mad. He's like, what are you... First of all, you interrupted my torturing. Second, you dropped the case. And he's pissed off about this. Eva immediately comes in and she says, drop it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's fine. Not a big deal. And he does drop it, surprisingly. Because, like I said, this is his primary objective. So Titus is not in the wrong here. And Eva, while she is the first keeper now, first keeper, she shouldn't just let it go that easily, even if that is her son. That's not something that should be just let go. But it is. In this whole book, it's not brought back up whatsoever. And we might see it again in the 12th issue, but in this book, it's not brought back up. But we do find out that the prime minister not only knows about the Seekers, but he's actually a part of it, part of them. He's in that group. And that's all we get from them. But then we go back to Switzerland. Canto and the rest of the group, they finally made it to land, and they're searching for that first secret. And they find that the case is still open. And this does answer one of my questions of when this secret goes off, what happens? Does it go somewhere else or anything like that? Does it close automatically to stop the explosion? And it's none of those. Basically, it just stays where it's at. When they find it, it's completely open. And Canto goes to go pick it up, and Laqueta attacks. She throws a spear towards his hand, so he's not able to grab it. She signs for him to step back. And at this point, Canto is like, whatever you think you're doing, whatever you think is right, you need to reevaluate. This doesn't need to happen. And it's at this point that Daima and Laqueta get into Canto's face, and Canto's like, I'm not afraid of you. All right, cool. And then Daima says something, you need to step back. I think that's what he said. I can't remember. I didn't write it down or anything. But Daima is supposed to not be able to speak, or... You know what? I don't know. I can't completely remember if they can't speak or if they made a vow not to speak. But either way, the fact that Daima spoke, it threw off the new recruits, the Dion and Fel. And I think that's all that they needed to see to make Laqueta and Dima untrustworthy at this point. Not only did they attack Canto, but now they're speaking, which is a lie towards them. So that's all they needed. And they honestly don't know what to do. But then the fight scene happens. It starts. Dima kicks Canto straight in the chest, knocks him back. And then they get stuck in a sword fight. And then Dion, I believe, has a gun pointed at Dima. And he says, don't make me shoot you. Don't make me hurt you. And it's at this point Laqueta knocks Fel with her staff, which makes Dion shoot Dima. So Dima is dead. Now he got a good shot. And so, like I said, this is all people in a group that they should have all trusted each other. This shouldn't be happening, and it's very sad that it's happening. But now a new recruit has killed a veteran group member. And so that's sad. And you can see Laqueta, Laqueta and Dima had a relationship. I'm not sure if it was a romantic relationship or anything like that, but they had a relationship. So she sees him go down. As he goes down, she's crying. And Laqueta kills Dion, kind of as a revenge. So now Fel is seeing her mate. Like they went through training together. So now that's just two backstabbing situations that kind of has happened within seconds of each other. And Laqueta did not want to kill, but she's crying about it. And then Canto says that did not need to happen. That this still does not need to happen. And through angry tears, Laqueta says, she signs, yes, it did. It was supposed to happen. And kind of sarcastically, Canto replies with, "What? Like, can you see the future? Do you know the future?" And she says, "I can." So, stepping back from this, I kind of looked back. I remembered the secret that she shared with Eva, and I wonder if that's her secret. Basically, that she can see the future. She knew that she was gonna kill Dion. She knew that Dima was gonna die, and she also knew that Canto is the traitor. So there's the reveal right there. But I think she knew all of this and could not reveal that she knew. So she had to pretend that she was friends with Canto. She had to make friends and buddy herself up with Dion, and knowing that he was gonna kill Dima and she was gonna kill him. Like that's very sad. And another thing to kind of back that up is that Eva, she said, "I'm so sorry that you had to carry that on your own." So very, very upsetting. And then at this point, Canto says, "Then how did you not see this coming?" And Amon joins the fight by slashing Laqueta's head off. And in the art here by what's his name, Daniel DeNicolo, is amazing. This is like anime kind of style. If it gets made into like any kind of film, I would love it for it to be animation, just because like I don't know if live action could do this any justice. But her head gets shoved off, and he lands in a superhero kind of pose. You can see that he brought some troops behind him, and he gets the secret. Canto grabs the secret, and he goes up to Amon, and Amon starts telling him like, you've made many sacrifices. Is this what did Verity or something like that, the person that captured Amon, did she do this to you? And he looks visibly hurt at the fact that Canto was hurt. His hand was cut off, and the fact that he was hurt even in the slightest. And then another revelation is that as Amon is apologizing to Canto for all this happening, they kiss. And so that means that they're in a relationship, which means that Canto has been betraying them since who knows when. And that's how it ends, with them kissing. And it's just 9.5. 9.5 out of 10. It's all I can say is that the only reason it's not a 10 is because there is no resolution yet. Now this is, I wouldn't say the climax, but it's at least up there, right next to the climax at the very least. We get a twist of what's going on with Casper. We get the twist of Canto being, I didn't want him to be the traitor, but it, like all signs pointed to him. We had 2 people died. It's sad. Like the sadness is a positive and a negative at the same time. And this is an amazing issue. It makes it's all been worth it before. It's still worth it now. Yeah, just like I don't know what else to say about that. I can't believe Laqueta's dead. And this tells me, does Eva, because she shared the secret, so does Eva know that Casper, or not that Casper, I'm sorry, that Canto was the traitor? And if she knows, why did she send? I guess a lot like with anything with people seeing the future, it's always like these are the way the events are supposed to go out, so they need to happen. So she knew maybe that she needed to send Canto with this group. I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping we'll find out soon. But this was a great issue. 9.5 out of 10. I don't know, man. Nothing else really to say. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening.